He erased their memories to free them from suffering. But who erased his? Adrian Blake, the brilliant surgeon whose groundbreaking discovery brought hope and horror in equal measure, wakes to find himself trapped in his own forgotten past. Shadows linger in the corners of his mind, whispering truths he fears to confront. Each fragment of recollection pushes him closer to the horrifying realization that he might have committed atrocities he can't imagine. The path to redemption is paved with buried secrets and lost innocence. But when the forgotten truths finally emerge, Adrian learns the hardest lesson of all. Some memories never truly die. Well, friends, subscribe to our channel, and please let us know in the comments where you're watching us from and how we can improve. Thank you for your engagement, and enjoy watching. Dense layers of mist clung to the emerald canopy of the Guatemalan jungle as Alex Carter pushed aside thick curtains of vines. The humidity wrapped around him, suffocating yet oddly exhilarating, amplifying the electric pulse of anticipation in his veins. After years buried in dusty libraries and sterile lecture halls, he was finally here, in the heart of an untouched wilderness, mere steps from uncovering secrets that had slumbered for centuries. Sweat trickled down his temples, the rhythmic hum of insects blending with the muffled crunch of boots against moss-covered stones. Alex glanced back briefly at his team, 3 seasoned researchers he'd handpicked for their unwavering resolve, all sharing his mixture of excitement and caution. No one spoke, eyes sharply scanning for danger. The ancient Mayan temple, cloaked by vegetation, loomed ahead like a forgotten sentinel guarding long-hidden truths. Reaching the temple's entrance, Alex paused, his breath hitching as the jungle seemed to fall into eerie silence around them. Carved symbols etched into stone arches whispered of ancient gods and rituals long forgotten. The flashlight in his hand danced across weathered glyphs, illuminating fragments of stories he could only partially decipher. His heartbeat quickened. He was close. Stepping inside, the air shifted dramatically, cooler, tinged with the scent of damp earth and something faintly metallic. The corridor ahead stretched infinitely, shadows and echoes enveloping them. Alex felt an unusual pull, as if an invisible thread was guiding him forward. A sensation, primal and unexplainable, tightened in his chest. Soon they entered a vast chamber, bathed in shafts of sunlight that pierced through cracks in the vaulted ceiling, revealing murals fading into stone walls. At the center stood a stone pedestal, draped in a veil of ancient cobwebs. Resting upon it was a silver mask, gleaming despite centuries of neglect. Its hollow eyes stared endlessly outward, reflecting distant worlds unseen. Alex approached cautiously, heart pounding fiercely. He removed his glove, compelled by an instinct beyond logic. As his fingers brushed the mask's cold surface, a sharp current raced through him. The world tilted, blurred, then exploded into flashes of images and sounds. Chaotic visions assaulted his senses, faces he had yet to meet, places he had never been. He saw laughter, tears, love, and death in dizzying succession, culminating in a vision of flames devouring a familiar cityscape. Alex gasped, pulling back, stumbling against the pedestal. His team rushed forward, concerned voices muffled by the ringing in his ears. Slowly, reality solidified around him. He was back, breathless, staring wide-eyed at the artifact. The mask seemed innocuous again, merely a piece of metal. But the visions remained, branded into his memory. One of his team members, Sarah, softly asked if he was okay, concern etched deeply into her features. Alex managed a nod, unable to articulate the turmoil within. Whatever he'd touched wasn't just an artifact. It was a doorway, an awakening to something profound, dangerous, and irresistible. He knew instantly his life had changed, irrevocably bound to the enigmatic mask. Its mysteries beckoned him deeper into a destiny he could neither foresee nor control. The jungle outside hummed again with life, oblivious to the transformation within the temple walls. Alex lifted his gaze once more to the mask's empty eyes, feeling a silent promise and warning intertwined. He had stepped into a future filled with truths he might regret uncovering. Back in New York, the city buzzed around Alex Carter with relentless energy, oblivious to the storm brewing inside him. Days after returning from Guatemala, the mask lay hidden inside his modest Brooklyn apartment, concealed in a padded case beneath his bed. Yet its presence lingered heavily in his thoughts, the visions echoing relentlessly in the quiet hours of the night, blurring dreams with a vivid tapestry of futures yet to unfold. Alex found himself at an upscale Manhattan restaurant, soft candlelight flickering over polished tables, the hum of muted conversations and clinking glasses filling the elegant atmosphere. Across from him sat Emma Blake, his girlfriend, radiant in emerald silk, her laughter effortlessly dissolving his anxious tension. Emma was a graceful paradox, ambitious yet gentle, intellectual yet intuitive. Tonight, her eyes sparkled with curiosity, sensing the subtle changes that Alex couldn't quite hide. Midway through dinner, the familiar dizziness returned. Alex stiffened, his vision splintering suddenly into sharp fragments. A devastating scene unfolded clearly. Fire engulfing Emma's apartment, flames devouring everything in their path, consuming memories, dreams, and ultimately, Emma herself. Horror clutched his heart, a visceral, paralyzing fear rooting him momentarily to the spot. Emma leaned forward, concerned, reaching across the table. "Alex, are you all right?" "You went pale." He blinked rapidly, the warmth of her hand jolting him back to reality. "I'm fine, just felt dizzy," he murmured, forcing a reassuring smile, masking the dread pulsing beneath his chest. Yet the vision gripped him relentlessly. Later that evening, as they walked hand in hand through moonlit streets, Alex impulsively pleaded, "Emma, stay with me tonight. Please, trust me." Confusion flickered across her features, but the intensity in his eyes convinced her to agree without questions. That same night, sirens screamed through the Brooklyn streets, piercing Alex's troubled sleep. He rushed to the window, heart hammering. Smoke billowed from Emma's building across the avenue, exactly as he'd foreseen. Alex turned slowly, meeting Emma's horrified eyes. Neither spoke, understanding dawning between them. His warning, born from the inexplicable, had saved her life. News quickly spread among friends and colleagues. At his office at Columbia University, whispers and speculative glances followed him, curiosity mingling with skepticism. During a live-streamed academic panel, a comment appeared on the screen behind Alex. Message from History Buff 89. Did Professor Carter really predict that fire? Is he psychic or something? Alex's chest tightened, sensing scrutiny increasing around him. Another message quickly appeared. Comment from Science Gal 22. Probably just luck, or staged for attention. He ignored the growing buzz online, but knew his world had fundamentally shifted. Emma, initially startled by the revelation, embraced his newfound ability, convinced it was a sign of something greater. Privately, though, Alex questioned whether his visions were a gift or a looming curse. In quiet moments, alone with the mask, he tested its powers, touching its smooth metal surface and glimpsing fragments of futures, some trivial, others alarmingly severe. Each vision exacted a price, draining him physically and emotionally, leaving him exhausted and wary of meddling too deeply. Yet temptation tugged persistently. Could he prevent tragedy? Should he? Uncertainty gnawed relentlessly. As weeks passed, Alex felt himself slowly losing control, entangled in webs of possibilities, each decision birthing unforeseen consequences. Late one night, Emma gently took his hand, her voice steady and supportive. "You were given this power for a reason. We'll figure it out together. But be careful, Alex. Some doors, once opened, can't be easily closed." Her words lingered heavily, mingling with a nagging truth Alex couldn't yet face. Perhaps the mask wasn't revealing the future, but rather shaping it, casting his destiny in shadows from which there might be no escape. Autumn descended upon New York in waves of amber and crimson, masking the city in deceptive warmth while uncertainty gnawed at Alex Carter from within. Each vision consumed him a bit more, blurring reality and foresight into a chaotic tapestry he struggled to control. His initial sense of power had rapidly given way to apprehension, each interference triggering unpredictable repercussions. One crisp October afternoon, Alex stood at the bustling intersection near Columbia University, the air brisk, sunlight filtering through rust-colored leaves. Across the street, his friend and colleague, Daniel Reyes, waved enthusiastically, stepping off the curb without noticing the speeding taxi barreling toward him. A sudden, brutal vision erupted. Daniel's body struck violently, lifeless upon impact, chaos flooding the street. Alex's pulse surged violently. Adrenaline propelled him forward before logic could intervene. "Daniel, stop!" he shouted desperately, the urgency in his voice slicing through the urban din. Daniel froze instantly, startled and confused, seconds before the taxi screeched to a halt inches away. The driver cursed loudly, pedestrians gasped, phones raised to capture the shocking near miss. Daniel stumbled backward, breathing heavily, color draining from his face. Alex rushed to him, heart hammering wildly. Relief mingled with an unsettling dread. Daniel stared incredulously. "Alex, how did you?" "Just instinct," Alex lied shakily, acutely aware of the murmurs swelling around them, speculative glances turning accusatory, suspicious. Their narrow escape quickly circulated online, becoming viral within hours. The comments flooded in relentlessly. A text flashed urgently across Alex's phone later that night. Emma sent a screenshot. Comment from Skeptic NYC. "Twice is not a coincidence. Carter's obviously playing some kind of dangerous game." Anxiety surged through Alex's veins, a heavy realization settling painfully. Every attempt at salvation provoked unforeseen damage. Worse, unpredictable. Days later, news reached him. The taxi driver, distracted and shaken from the near miss, had fatally crashed later that afternoon, leaving behind a grieving family. The chain reaction crushed Alex beneath relentless guilt. He withdrew into isolation, declining interviews, ignoring persistent emails, avoiding Emma's concerned inquiries. The weight of unintended consequences blurred his boundaries of right and wrong, leaving him paralyzed by fear of future visions. Doubts filled him nightly, whispering questions he couldn't answer. Had his intervention saved Daniel only to doom another? Emma finally confronted him, worried eyes searching his face. "Alex, you can't carry this alone. Maybe the mask wasn't meant for interference. Maybe these visions warn, but don't ask for your action." Alex shook his head, tortured. "If I don't act, what good is knowing the future? How can I live knowing tragedy is preventable?" Emma sighed, soft yet firm. "Because some things aren't yours to control." Her words echoed in his dreams, a persistent, unsettling truth. Haunted by what he'd unleashed, Alex immersed himself into researching the mask's origins, desperate for understanding. He discovered obscure texts hinting at Mayan legends, visions as tests, warnings against arrogance and challenging fate itself. A chill gripped Alex. Was the mask truly empowering him or trapping him, chaining him into cycles of consequence? Every revelation deepened his turmoil. Meanwhile, Daniel distanced himself, wary of the unpredictable force surrounding Alex. Rumors flourished, colleagues questioning Alex's stability openly. During a tense live stream, yet another comment flashed ominously. Viewer Truth Seeker 12 asks, "Is Alex Carter hero or villain? How many lives must his gift claim?" The question pierced Alex deeply. He retreated further, the mask concealed, yet whispering ceaselessly beneath his bed, silently demanding attention. His mental state frayed under the relentless pressure, paranoia blossoming dangerously. He saw threats everywhere, real and imagined, trapped between duty and despair, increasingly isolated, spiraling downward. In darkness, Alex sensed the tightening grip of fate, a tangled web he himself had woven, strands binding tighter with each passing moment, chains forged from his very desire to alter destiny. Winter seeped into New York, casting the city in shades of steel gray as snowflakes softly blanketed the streets, masking the chaos beneath a deceptively peaceful veneer. Alex Carter sat alone in his dimly lit apartment, the silver mask heavy in his hands, its hollow eyes silently mocking him. Visions had stolen his peace, trust had become scarce, and paranoia crept through his veins like poison. Across the city, behind glass walls overlooking the snowy expanse of Central Park, Professor Thomas Grayson observed the skyline. A renowned archaeologist with icy charm and ruthless ambition, Grayson had watched Alex's rise and subsequent unraveling with intense scrutiny. He understood exactly what the young archaeologist had discovered: power, pure and dangerous, wrapped within an artifact that belonged in wiser hands, his own. Late that evening, Grayson's voice murmured persuasively through the elegant interior of a quiet restaurant. Emma Blake sat nervously across from him, eyes guarded, conflicted. "Emma," Grayson spoke softly, a fatherly warmth masking his manipulative intent. "Alex can't handle what he's found. That mask is dangerous, not just to him, but everyone around him." Emma shifted uneasily, torn between loyalty and fear. "He saved my life, Professor. He's confused, frightened, but he isn't dangerous." Grayson leaned forward slightly, voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "You're blinded by love, Emma. Alex's visions are already destroying him. Help me take the mask safely. It's the only way to protect him from himself." Emma hesitated, guilt tightening around her heart. Yet Grayson's words wormed beneath her defenses, exploiting lingering doubts and fears. Finally, reluctantly, she nodded, accepting his proposal, a decision instantly weighing heavy on her conscience. Meanwhile, suspicions gnawed relentlessly at Alex, his trust fracturing under mounting pressures. Unable to shake the persistent unease, he opened Emma's laptop late one night, heart thudding painfully. Emails unfolded before him, private correspondences between Emma and Grayson, detailing plans to secure the mask. Betrayal slammed into Alex with physical force, his chest constricting, breath stolen away. Numb with shock, he confronted Emma immediately. Her eyes widened in horror, guilt washing visibly over her features. "Alex, it's not what it looks like. I was trying to help you by conspiring with Grayson behind my back." His voice trembled with barely contained anguish. "You know what the mask does, Emma. How could you betray me?" Tears pooled in Emma's eyes, her voice shaking desperately. "I was terrified. For you, for us. I thought Grayson could help. Take this burden off your shoulders." Alex's fists clenched, pain and anger warring within. "You chose fear over trust. That's the truth." Emma reached for him, pleading, "Alex, please. Don't." His voice cracked, defeated. "Just go." She left quietly, leaving him alone with suffocating silence. Days blurred into isolation, paranoia deepening into despair. Grayson's intentions became chillingly clear through public comments strategically appearing online. On Alex's phone, an alert flashed. Message highlighted from ArchFan57. "Professor Grayson just confirmed Alex Carter is unstable. Claims mask is dangerous. Who's telling the truth?" Betrayed by love and mentor alike, Alex knew his only path forward was destroying the source of his torment. Determination, sharp as steel, cut through despair, igniting a desperate resolve. If fate intended to chain him, he'd break it first, no matter the cost. Packing the mask carefully, Alex prepared for one final journey, to Guatemala, to the temple where it all began. Amid swirling snowflakes outside, his gaze hardened with purpose, haunted yet unyielding. Betrayal had stripped away illusions, leaving only clarity. He would end this, confronting the mask's mystery head-on. Whatever awaited in the shadows, Alex was prepared. He'd either free himself from the mask's chains or shatter alongside it, finally surrendering himself to destiny's mercy. The Guatemalan jungle had reclaimed much of the ancient temple since Alex's last visit. Vines creeping relentlessly across carved stone, nature determined to erase humanity's arrogant footprints. Alex Carter stood before the entrance, breathing heavily, the dense foliage trembling under heavy rain. He tightened his grip around the leather satchel containing the mask, its cold presence radiating malevolence even now, hundreds of miles from New York. Thunder cracked violently above, drowning his heartbeat for an instant. The sky illuminated by jagged bolts slicing through clouds heavy with menace. Yet, Alex pressed forward, determination outweighing fear. He navigated corridors that echoed eerily with memories, shadows flickering in the sputtering glow of his flashlight, his senses sharpened by adrenaline and dread. At last, he reached the grand chamber where it all began. Rain seeped through cracks in the ceiling, drops falling like rhythmic whispers onto stone floors etched with glyphs he still barely understood. The stone pedestal, bathed in a pale glow from above, stood waiting. Approaching slowly, he withdrew the mask, its silver gleam mocking his resolve. He felt its pull again, stronger, more insistent. Gritting his teeth, Alex raised the artifact high, shouting defiantly into the cavernous chamber, "You won't control me anymore." With fierce determination, he slammed the mask down onto the ancient stone pedestal. An explosion of brilliant white light engulfed the room, blinding him, throwing him violently backward. Reality twisted abruptly, his senses shattering into fragments of colors, sounds, and chaotic images swirling around him like a hurricane of memories. Suddenly, everything stilled. Alex gasped, sprawled on damp stone, disoriented and trembling. Slowly he rose, heart pounding fiercely, confusion gripping him as he recognized his surroundings vividly. The temple entrance exactly as he first encountered it, untouched, vines familiar, yet impossibly pristine. Panic surged, overwhelming clarity striking like lightning. He was back at the beginning, the day he first discovered the mask. "No, this can't be happening," he whispered hoarsely, dread clawing violently at his chest. Alex stumbled toward the pedestal, staring numbly at the mask, intact, mocking him from its original resting place. The horrifying realization sunk deep into his soul. He was trapped in an endless cycle, bound eternally to relive his torment, mistakes, and the bitter sting of betrayal. Despair crashed violently through him, threatening to drown his sanity. But something shifted within him suddenly, warmth spreading inexplicably, radiating outward from deep within his chest. A presence, ancient yet gentle, flooded his mind, whispering truths he hadn't seen before. Alex felt an unfamiliar strength rise, steadying his shaking limbs. Was this the mask's true purpose? Not punishment, but revelation? He straightened slowly, newfound clarity illuminating his path. The mask hadn't imprisoned him in loops of torment. It had exposed the roots of his own darkness, fear, insecurity, distrust. It challenged him to face himself, a chance to rewrite the future he'd inadvertently shaped. A second opportunity, powerful and rare. Rain continued gently overhead, peaceful now. Alex exhaled deeply, no longer afraid. Determination hardened his resolve, understanding finally dawning. He could change his story, guided not by visions, but wisdom earned through suffering. Yet, before relief fully settled, another vision exploded behind his eyes with terrifying force. Raw, shocking, undeniable. His knees nearly buckled under the magnitude of horror he saw. Not personal tragedy, but something greater, devastating enough to shake humanity itself. Gasping violently, Alex steadied himself against the cold stone pedestal, mind reeling, heart thundering wildly. This new vision dwarfed everything before, reshaping his purpose dramatically. What had he truly unleashed? And could he possibly prevent it? Alex stood frozen, questions burning fiercely, the mask gleaming silently, holding answers that now felt dangerously out of reach. Alex Carter returned to New York under a winter sky heavy with unspoken promises, his mind still echoing with the devastating vision that had reshaped his reality. Yet something within him had irrevocably changed, strengthened by a mysterious force released when he'd shattered the mask. A renewed clarity guided his steps, illuminating hidden paths and revealing shadows previously unnoticed. Emma met him cautiously at a quiet cafe in Greenwich Village, her eyes uncertain, yet hopeful. Alex observed her carefully now, alert to subtle cues he'd overlooked before. Hesitations, glances, silences heavy with unspoken truths. "I'm sorry," Emma began softly, sincerity shining painfully in her eyes. "I never wanted to hurt you." "I know," Alex replied quietly, his voice steady, calm. "But trust can't be rebuilt in a day." She nodded slowly, understanding etched deeply into her expression. They spoke openly, carefully, revealing vulnerabilities they'd long hidden beneath layers of fear and pride. Alex felt the weight of betrayal ease slightly, replaced by fragile yet genuine empathy. Days stretched into weeks, Alex deliberately distancing himself from rash decisions, carefully analyzing visions rather than impulsively acting. He meticulously documented each new foresight, searching patterns, seeking a deeper understanding of the mask's true nature. On social media, curiosity about Alex's abilities continued to swirl, but now his responses reflected careful thought rather than anxiety. During a live-streamed Q&A session, a question appeared on screen. Question from Curious Mind 84. "Have you mastered the mask's visions now?" Alex answered calmly, sincerity clear in his voice. "The mask isn't something you master. It's something you understand, something you respect. I'm still learning." His honesty earned tentative respect, skeptics softening slightly. Comments flooded steadily, a notable shift in tone apparent. Comment from Logical Viewer 99. "He's different now, more balanced." Maybe there's more truth to this than I thought. Alex felt cautiously encouraged, sensing subtle shifts in public perception. Yet privately, he knew deeper challenges awaited, particularly concerning Professor Grayson, whose silence loomed ominously in the background. At Columbia, Grayson had grown increasingly aggressive, publicly questioning Alex's credibility during faculty meetings. One afternoon, as Alex lectured calmly to a packed auditorium, Grayson openly challenged him, voice cutting sharply through the room. "Dr. Carter, aren't you misleading everyone with these supposed visions? You've caused real harm already." Alex paused, tension crackling palpably through the audience. Yet instead of anger, he responded steadily, voice controlled yet resolute. "Professor, sometimes truth appears harmful because it reveals discomforting realities. My intention was never harm, it was understanding. Can you say the same?" Murmurs rippled approvingly through the crowd, students and faculty exchanging knowing glances. Grayson fell silent, rage simmering beneath his composed exterior. Returning home, Alex discovered another startling vision, one painfully intimate, depicting Emma again caught in Grayson's manipulative schemes. His heart tightened briefly, yet this time he resisted panic, analyzing the vision carefully. It wasn't betrayal. Emma was desperately trying to extract herself, trapped by earlier decisions. Meeting Emma again, he gently revealed his foresight. She paled, voice trembling, ashamed yet relieved. "Alex, he won't let me go. He's obsessed with your power, your mask." "I know," Alex reassured softly, sincerity radiating clearly. "But now I'm prepared." Alex realized clearly then, the mask was never about merely seeing the future. It reflected truths hidden deep within those around him, truths previously obscured by his own fears. Recognizing this empowered him profoundly, transforming the mask from weapon to ally, illuminating paths toward reconciliation, wisdom, and genuine control. Yet as clarity settled warmly within him, Alex couldn't shake unease lingering persistently at the edges of his thoughts. Grayson's menace remained unresolved, a shadow lurking dangerously. Alex knew confrontation was inevitable, truth still awaiting revelation. He felt the echoes of his experiences converging powerfully, building towards something crucial, perhaps redemption, perhaps conflict. Either way, Alex Carter was ready, guided not by fear or blind visions, but by newfound strength and understanding. As spring timidly returned, thawing New York from its icy shell, tension between Alex Carter and Professor Thomas Grayson intensified, like a storm gathering strength beneath deceptively calm skies. Alex sensed clearly that their inevitable clash would soon erupt, publicly and brutally. Every interaction at Columbia University now carried hidden daggers, each subtle remark sharpened by underlying threats. Grayson's public statements became increasingly aggressive. During lectures and panels, he openly dismissed Alex's credibility, twisting each event surrounding the mask into accusations of reckless ambition. Alex chose strategic silence, watching carefully, waiting patiently for the right moment, knowing it would soon arrive. Late one evening, Alex received a troubling phone call from Emma, her voice barely above a whisper, trembling urgently. "Alex, please come quickly. Grayson found out I warned you. He's furious. I'm scared." Heart racing, Alex rushed to Grayson's office, bursting into the dimly lit room, instantly confronting the professor's icy glare. Emma sat stiffly, clearly frightened, her eyes pleading silently for forgiveness. Grayson leaned forward menacingly, voice dripping venom. "Emma was never truly yours, Alex. She's always been loyal to power, and now she's mine." Alex's voice remained calm, though anger simmered dangerously beneath his controlled exterior. Power built on manipulation and fear isn't loyalty, Professor. It's coercion. Grayson sneered coldly. You mistake mercy for weakness. I could ruin you tomorrow, publicly. Your mask, your precious visions, none of it will save you. Alex stepped forward firmly, meeting Grayson's gaze unflinchingly. Then do it publicly, Thomas. Stop hiding in shadows. Days later, at an internationally streamed archaeology conference, tension buzzed palpably through the crowded auditorium, filled with professors, students, and journalists eager for scandal. Alex sat quietly, waiting for Grayson's attack, knowing this was their battlefield. When the professor rose to speak, his voice boomed confidently yet poisonously. Dr. Carter's irresponsible claims endanger not just academia, but everyone influenced by his reckless ambition. Alex stood immediately, composed yet determined, voice steady and powerful as cameras swiveled eagerly toward him. You criticize ambition, Professor Grayson, but isn't it your own envy speaking? You want the mask, not for research, but power. You're afraid, not of me, but of what the mask reveals about you. The audience gasped audibly. Grayson flushed, momentarily stunned. He recovered quickly, voice sharp yet strained. Your visions have destroyed lives, Alex. No, Alex replied firmly, eyes blazing with genuine conviction. Fear destroys lives. Manipulation destroys lives. Truth, however uncomfortable, can heal. The audience murmured approval, momentum subtly shifting toward Alex. Grayson, sensing loss of control, snapped harshly. You're dangerously naive, Carter. Alex took a measured step forward, projecting calm confidence. Dangerous is manipulating Emma. Dangerous is betraying your students. Dangerous is fearing truth enough to silence it. Silence blanketed the auditorium briefly before erupting into supportive applause for Alex, cameras flashing rapidly. Grayson, humiliated, stormed off stage, defeated publicly yet dangerously unresolved. Emma approached Alex afterward, eyes shining tearfully with admiration and regret. Alex, you stood up to him, not just for yourself, but for all of us. Alex smiled softly, forgiveness and compassion evident in his voice. He forced me into honesty. In some twisted way, he helped me understand myself. Online, comments flooded positively. A message appeared prominently on Alex's feed. Viewer New Perspective 99 writes, Alex Carter showed true courage today. Truth spoke louder than manipulation. Despite public triumph, Alex privately understood clearly. This wasn't victory, merely postponement. Grayson's shadow remained dark, revenge certain. Yet Alex was prepared now, armed not with fear, but newfound strength and clarity. Walking quietly through Columbia's moonlit campus afterward, Emma gently took his hand, her presence comforting, supportive. Alex paused, gazing upward thoughtfully, stars blinking gently in the tranquil night sky. Grayson won't stop, Emma whispered softly, concerned. Alex nodded slowly, confidence radiating warmly through his voice. Neither will I. In that moment, he sensed clearly, whatever shadows awaited, he'd confront them openly, courageously, guided by hard-won truths. Rivalry had forged strength, clarity illuminating paths once hidden by fear. Alex was ready for whatever came next. Shadows, revelations, battles yet unfought. Fate had tested him relentlessly, but now he stood prepared, fully himself, aware and resilient. Late April painted New York with blossoming trees and warm breezes, but Alex Carter remained vigilant, sensing unresolved tensions simmering beneath the city's tranquil facade. His confrontation with Grayson had ignited admiration online, Yet Alex knew a deeper, more personal reckoning awaited, one involving Emma, trust, and truths still painfully concealed. One evening, Emma appeared unexpectedly at his doorstep, pale and visibly shaken, her eyes reddened by tears. She stepped hesitantly inside, voice barely audible. "Alex, please listen. There's something you need to know." He watched her silently, concern and caution intertwined in his expression. "Go ahead," he urged gently, inviting honesty rather than accusation. Emma inhaled deeply, voice trembling with raw vulnerability. "When Grayson first approached me, I didn't refuse. Not immediately. I was afraid of your visions, the power of the mask, everything spiraling out of control. I allowed myself to be manipulated because I feared losing you, losing myself." Alex's chest tightened painfully, yet he remained calm, allowing her space to confess fully, sensing the courage this demanded from her. Her voice broke softly, guilt suffusing every word. "But when I saw what he intended, using me to hurt you, steal your power, I tried to stop. He threatened everything. My career, my reputation, your safety. I was trapped, Alex. I betrayed you out of fear, not desire. But I never stopped loving you." Alex exhaled slowly, absorbing her confession carefully, emotions churning deeply within. He reached gently for her hand, sincerity steadying his voice. "I won't pretend betrayal doesn't hurt, Emma. But honesty is stronger than fear. You chose to tell me. That means something." Relief flooded visibly through Emma, tension easing slightly from her shoulders. "Can you forgive me?" Alex paused thoughtfully, eyes meeting hers directly. "Forgiveness takes time. But yes, I believe I can." Their reconciliation was abruptly shattered by the shrill scream of a fire alarm echoing from nearby. Urgent, piercing. Panic surged instantly through Alex, images from past visions flashing vividly, flames devouring memories, lives destroyed. They rushed outside, horrified to see Alex's office building at Columbia engulfed in violent flames, smoke billowing aggressively toward the darkening sky. A crowd had gathered, phones filming frantically as firefighters battled desperately against the spreading inferno. Alex watched numbly, heart hammering painfully. He knew instantly, this wasn't an accident. This was Grayson's rage made manifest, desperate revenge scorching away evidence and memories alike. Alex's research, journals meticulously documenting visions and truths, all lost in fire. Emma gripped his arm, horror etched across her face. "Alex, everything's gone." "Not everything," Alex replied firmly, turning decisively toward her, conviction hardening in his voice. "He destroyed evidence, but not truth. Not us." Online, messages rapidly appeared. On Alex's phone, an alert popped urgently. Message highlighted from Real Truth Finder. Columbia fire suspicious. Was Alex Carter targeted? Determination replaced grief swiftly. Alex understood clearly. Grayson's desperation had exposed vulnerability, recklessness creating opportunity. If Grayson thought flames could erase truth, he underestimated Alex deeply. The next day, speaking publicly near charred ruins of his office, Alex addressed media calmly, voice powerful, unwavering. "Professor Grayson believes destroying records silences truth. He's wrong. Truth isn't contained in paper. It lives in courage, honesty, resilience. And truth always survives." Cameras clicked furiously, capturing his determined stance, sincerity shining brightly in his gaze. Online responses quickly flooded with support. A message appeared prominently on screen. Viewer-inspired Voice 44 says, "Alex Carter lost everything yet stands stronger than ever. True bravery in action." Emma stood quietly beside him, pride and respect evident. Together they faced reporters confidently, united against manipulation and fear, strengthened by honesty painfully earned. That evening, walking slowly beneath blooming cherry trees in Central Park, Emma squeezed Alex's hand gently, softly confessing, "Grayson thought he could break us, but his fire only purified what remained, our truth." Alex smiled softly, heart lighter despite losses endured. Flames reveal, Emma. They destroy illusions, leaving clarity behind. He sensed clearly now. Betrayal had become revelation, vulnerability transformed into strength. Flames had consumed lies, illuminating truths neither he nor Emma could ignore. Now united by honesty, they were stronger, prepared for whatever darkness Grayson unleashed next. Determined to uncover the mask's deeper secrets, Alex Carter once again found himself standing at the threshold of the ancient temple deep in the Guatemalan jungle. This time, however, he was not alone. Emma stood by his side, her eyes reflecting both courage and vulnerability. The jungle felt different now, alive, watchful, challenging them silently as they stepped carefully inside. Navigating through familiar stone corridors, Alex noticed details previously overlooked. Glyphs subtly glowing in torchlight, patterns emerging from shadows, whispers of ancient wisdom waiting patiently for recognition. Reaching the central chamber, memories flooded vividly. The mask's presence palpable even before seeing it resting quietly upon its pedestal. Approaching cautiously, Alex traced inscriptions carved intricately around the pedestal's base. His heart quickened as new understanding dawned sharply. The glyphs weren't warnings, but instructions. They spoke clearly of trials, tests designed specifically to confront the seeker's innermost fears. The mask hadn't imprisoned him. It demanded his growth, self-awareness as the price of freedom. Suddenly, shadows shifted violently, the chamber filling with swirling illusions drawn vividly from Alex's memories. Flames devouring homes, friends accusing bitterly, Emma's face twisted by betrayal. Panic surged briefly, yet Alex steadied himself quickly, understanding the challenge clearly, confronting fears rather than fleeing them. He stepped confidently toward flames that roared terrifyingly, feeling heat blister painfully, yet pushed forward resolutely. The fire vanished instantly, merely illusion dissolving harmlessly. Friends surrounded him next, voices sharp with criticism. "You failed us, Alex." He faced each calmly, accepting their anger, voicing quiet yet sincere apologies, illusions fading quietly, acceptance dissolving resentment. Finally, Emma appeared, eyes brimming painfully with guilt. "I betrayed you, Alex. You can never truly forgive me." Alex stepped forward gently, voice strong yet compassionate. "Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's strength. I choose to forgive Emma. Completely." Her image softened gratefully, illusion fading warmly. Alex exhaled deeply, understanding profoundly now. The mask's test was never external threats, but internal truths, confronting fear, accepting vulnerability, choosing forgiveness over bitterness. Emma approached cautiously, awed by Alex's calm strength. "You broke the pattern. You chose growth over repetition." "Yes," Alex confirmed quietly, clarity illuminating his expression. "Now I see, the mask never forced my choices. I trapped myself. Breaking free meant confronting myself, accepting truth without conditions." Online viewers had followed their journey intensely, reactions immediate. Alex's phone buzzed urgently, displaying highlighted comment from Wise Viewer 99. Alex Carter faced fears publicly, proving real strength lies in acceptance and honesty. Encouraged, Alex turned resolutely toward Emma. We're not done yet. One final truth remains hidden here. Together they examined the pedestal more closely, discovering hidden compartments previously unnoticed. Inside rested ancient scrolls, delicate yet intact. Carefully unrolling them revealed startling revelations. The mask wasn't created for mere foresight, but as a catalyst prompting humanity toward self-awareness, growth through trials. Alex's voice filled with awe, conviction steadying his words. This mask wasn't a curse. It challenged seekers toward evolution, personal, collective. It guided us toward becoming better, wiser. Emma smiled softly, admiration clear. It guided you, Alex. Your courage brought us here. Outside, sunlight broke powerfully through jungle canopy, illuminating chamber walls vividly, symbols previously invisible glowing warmly now, clearly affirming their revelations. The pattern had truly broken, fear replaced by wisdom, conflict replaced by clarity. Exiting the temple hand in hand, Alex and Emma stepped confidently into sunlight, its warmth symbolically washing away lingering shadows of past doubts. Alex sensed deeply now, freedom wasn't escaping visions, but understanding them, embracing truths difficult yet essential. Turning thoughtfully toward Emma beneath brilliant sunlight, Alex whispered gratefully, "The mask showed me visions, but you helped me see truths." Emma squeezed his hand softly. "Truth is powerful, Alex, painful yet transformative. You chose wisely." Walking steadily away from shadows of past cycles, Alex Carter felt profoundly renewed, prepared for futures shaped consciously, no longer by fearful visions, but intentional, courageous choices guided by wisdom hard-won through trials endured. The Grand Hall of New York's Metropolitan Museum buzzed with anticipation. Cameras trained intently on the stage where Alex Carter prepared to address a global audience live streaming eagerly from around the world. Today, Alex had promised to reveal the truth behind the mask, confronting the speculation, skepticism, and controversies that had defined his turbulent journey thus far. Standing backstage, Alex inhaled deeply, steadying nerves humming with anticipation. Emma stood beside him, offering reassuring strength through a silent nod. He stepped confidently forward, emerging onto the brightly lit stage where applause erupted spontaneously, echoing warmly through the auditorium. Taking the podium calmly, Alex spoke clearly yet warmly. "I'm here to share truths discovered painfully, but essential for understanding what this artifact truly represents. Not just visions or powers, but deeper lessons about courage, honesty, and acceptance." Before he could continue, the auditorium doors slammed open dramatically, Professor Grayson entering swiftly, hostility radiating aggressively from his cold gaze. Cameras swiveled eagerly toward this sudden confrontation. Grayson's voice cut sharply, accusation clear. "Don't trust this charlatan." Alex Carter manipulated events to boost his own reputation. "The mask is dangerous, a fraud." Murmurs rippled instantly through the audience, tension surging palpably. Alex, however, remained composed, responding steadily. "Professor Grayson fears the mask, not because it deceives, but because it reveals truth. Truth exposes intentions, motivations hidden deeply." Grayson snapped harshly, attempting control. "Your truth endangered lives." Alex paused meaningfully, voice gentle yet powerfully resolute. "Truth only endangers lies. It forces accountability. Yes, visions created confusion, but honesty guided me forward. My mistakes taught humility, responsibility, compassion. Can you say the same, Professor?" The auditorium quieted instantly, audience transfixed. Grayson hesitated visibly, composure fracturing briefly. Alex continued thoughtfully, addressing everyone present, sincerity unmistakable. This artifact wasn't created for control or power, but awareness, forcing humanity to confront ourselves, our fears, our choices. It exposed my flaws clearly: pride, fear, mistrust. Yet confronting those truths freed me profoundly. True power isn't foresight. It's choosing consciously despite uncertainty. Online comments surged, overwhelmingly supportive. A message flashed prominently across screens worldwide. Comment from Inspired World 12. Alex Carter just transformed visions into profound lessons. Truth indeed triumphs. Grayson, cornered publicly, voice trembling slightly, protested weakly. You're twisting truth, Alex. No, Alex replied calmly, genuine compassion softening his voice. I'm simply revealing it. Truth doesn't destroy us, it redeems us. Fear of truth destroys. Applause erupted spontaneously, audience rising collectively in standing ovation, endorsing Alex's sincerity. Cameras captured clearly the moment of triumph. Truth overcoming manipulation, clarity defeating fear. Grayson retreated silently, defeated publicly, yet harboring unresolved resentment privately. Emma joined Alex on stage warmly, pride radiating clearly through her eyes. Quietly, she whispered, "You did it, Alex." Truth triumphed. Alex smiled softly, humility evident. Truth always triumphs. We merely discover it. Exiting the auditorium later amid excited supporters, Alex's phone vibrated urgently. On screen appeared, message highlighted from Global Observer 99. Alex Carter demonstrated courage by choosing honesty publicly. Powerful lesson for us all. As they walked through bustling Manhattan streets afterward, Emma gently squeezed Alex's hand thoughtfully, asking quietly, "What happens now, Alex?" He paused reflectively, gaze steady yet hopeful. "Now we live openly, honestly. Truth guides us forward." Emma smiled warmly, admiration evident. "The mask tested you profoundly, yet it also freed you." Alex nodded slowly, gratitude deeply heartfelt. "Freedom comes from awareness, Emma. Courageously confronting ourselves is life's greatest triumph." Together they walked forward beneath New York's vibrant skyline, futures reshaped profoundly by choices consciously made. Alex sensed clearly. Public triumph wasn't merely popularity or victory, but deep authenticity. Choosing truth even when difficult, transformative. He understood now, visions hadn't defined him, responses to them had. Each step forward reflected conscious courage, honesty defeating fear. Today marked not conclusion, but beginning, living truths discovered painfully yet embraced gratefully. The evening after Alex's triumphant presentation at the Metropolitan Museum, the city lights glittered like scattered diamonds beneath the Manhattan skyline, deceptively tranquil as Alex and Emma returned home. Yet Alex remained restless, a subtle tension tugging at the edges of his consciousness, a quiet, insistent whisper that this journey wasn't yet complete. Late that night, in the suffocating quiet of his apartment, Alex's sleep fractured violently, shattered by a vision more intense, vivid, and terrifying than anything he'd previously experienced. It exploded through his mind with merciless clarity, overwhelming him completely. He saw vast oceans rising angrily, cities submerged beneath merciless waves, storms raging violently across continents. Fires blazed uncontrollably, forests reduced to ash, humanity scrambling desperately for safety that didn't exist. This wasn't mere tragedy. It was apocalyptic devastation, a catastrophic upheaval that dwarfed personal losses entirely. Alex bolted upright, gasping desperately for air, heart racing furiously. Sweat drenched his trembling body as he clutched desperately at reality, horror deeply imprinted on his mind. This vision wasn't personal, it was global. His earlier challenges paled utterly against the scale of this impending disaster, the stakes unbearably high. Emma awoke beside him, sensing panic instantly, voice filled urgently with concern. "Alex, what's wrong? You're shaking." He exhaled sharply, barely able to speak through the magnitude of horror consuming him. "I saw something bigger than everything before. A global catastrophe, Emma. Something unimaginable." Her expression shifted swiftly from worry to deep alarm, grasping the seriousness immediately. "When, Alex? How long do we have?" Alex shook his head slowly, confusion and terror intertwined in his gaze. "I don't know, but we have to act quickly. The mask wasn't preparing me for personal trials alone. It was preparing me for this." Emma reached gently for his trembling hand, offering calm support despite her own growing dread. "Then we face this together. We can warn people. Do something, anything." They worked feverishly through the night, carefully documenting details Alex recalled vividly from the vision, preparing messages meant for global authorities, scientific communities, anyone who might listen. Yet Alex privately struggled intensely. What if intervention only worsened consequences, as it had before? At dawn, as early sunlight broke gently over New York's awakening streets, Alex stood by the window, deeply troubled, yet profoundly aware of responsibility resting heavily on his shoulders. His phone vibrated continuously, alerts flooding urgently. A highlighted message appeared. "Viewer Global Watch asks urgently. Rumors suggest Alex Carter had another shocking vision. What does he know now?" Emma quietly approached, sensing clearly his internal struggle. "Alex, whatever happens next, you're not responsible alone. We warn, we inform, but humanity chooses how to respond." He sighed deeply, voice burdened yet resolute. This vision showed clearly. Everything we've faced until now was preparation. The mask was always guiding me here, toward global awareness, responsibility. Emma squeezed his hand gently, determination steadying her voice. "Then we accept this responsibility openly, honestly. Trust yourself, Alex. You've proven stronger than visions before." Online, discussions surged rapidly. Another alert flashed clearly. Comment from Truth Seeker Global. "Alex Carter warned us before. Save lives. Let's trust him now." Yet amidst widespread support emerged skepticism, fear, accusations. Another message appeared sharply. Comment highlighted from Critical Eye 2023. "Is Alex Carter causing panic deliberately? Can we trust his visions?" Alex accepted both support and skepticism calmly now, understanding clearly. Truth always provoked discomfort. Yet honesty remained essential, whatever risks involved. He turned decisively toward Emma, determination hardening within him profoundly. "We reveal this publicly, Emma. Now, people deserve truth, even terrifying." She nodded firmly, courage deeply sincere. "Then we speak clearly. No fear, no hesitation." Together, facing cameras once more, they broadcasted Alex's vision worldwide. Calm, clear, profoundly honest. As images spread rapidly, humanity stood collectively at crossroads, forced toward profound awareness and urgent decisions. Returning home later, Emma gently whispered beside him thoughtfully, "What if this was the mask's purpose all along? Not prediction, but awareness." Alex nodded slowly, deeply understanding now. Visions forced humanity toward collective responsibility. Yet privately, he couldn't shake dread whispering persistently. Would humanity choose wisdom or fear? Awareness alone couldn't guarantee survival. He felt profoundly. His role wasn't preventing disaster, merely revealing choices clearly, courageously. Humanity would decide its fate now, guided consciously by truth painfully, yet necessarily revealed. With the world watching anxiously, Alex and Emma returned once more to the ancient Mayan temple in Guatemala, guided now by urgency far beyond personal redemption. News helicopters hovered overhead, broadcasting their journey live, millions following breathlessly as humanity awaited answers hidden deep within stone corridors once forgotten by time. Approaching the temple entrance, Alex felt profoundly different, no longer haunted, but strengthened. Each past trial, each vision endured had forged resilience, wisdom guiding him now through uncertainty toward clarity. Emma moved steadily beside him, determination radiating clearly, united by purpose larger than themselves. Inside, shadows danced solemnly across stone walls, ancient glyphs glowing softly, acknowledging their return warmly. Reaching the mask's pedestal again, Alex traced inscriptions newly understood clearly. The mask was never mere foresight, but a catalyst guiding humanity toward collective evolution through awareness. Alex raised the mask gently, voice echoing steadily through corridors filled now by global attention. This artifact doesn't cause tragedy. It reveals truths, forcing awareness, responsibility. Humanity faces catastrophe not by destiny, but choice. The mask showed me clearly. We choose our future consciously, courageously. Suddenly, illusions surged powerfully once more, apocalyptic scenes erupting violently around them, oceans surging destructively, flames roaring mercilessly. Emma tensed briefly, yet Alex remained calm, stepping forward firmly, addressing illusions directly, voice strong, unwavering. These futures aren't inevitable, they're warnings. We choose whether fear or wisdom guides us. Together, we decide if humanity rises consciously beyond eternity or falls victim helplessly. His voice resonated powerfully, visions shattering instantly, replaced by peaceful silence. Emma exhaled sharply, all clear. You broke through illusions publicly, Alex. Everyone witnessed clearly. Choice defines destiny. Outside, online comments surged rapidly, global reactions intensely supportive. An alert flashed urgently. Message from Global Awareness 2023. Alex Carter publicly demonstrated truth. Humanity chooses its future consciously. Powerful moment for us all. Exiting the temple afterward beneath radiant sunlight breaking clearly through jungle canopy, Alex sensed profoundly now. His purpose fulfilled completely. He'd guided humanity toward awareness, responsibility resting firmly with collective choices now. Returning home amid widespread global attention, Emma gently whispered beside him thoughtfully. You gave humanity awareness clearly, publicly. Yet future remains uncertain. Alex nodded slowly, understanding deeply. Uncertainty isn't punishment, it's freedom. Our choices define us now, Emma. Visions guided awareness, but humanity chooses wisdom. Later, standing quietly atop New York's Rockefeller Center beneath stars glittering brightly against velvet night skies, Alex gazed upward reflectively, deeply peaceful. Emma moved softly beside him, squeezing his hand gently, voice warmly thoughtful. You changed profoundly, Alex. Transformed tragedy into wisdom, fear into courage. The mask's visions tested you deeply, yet freed you completely. Alex smiled softly, gratitude radiating sincerely through his quiet response. The mask didn't free me, Emma. It guided awareness. Freedom came from courageously confronting myself, truths painful yet necessary. Our futures are consciously chosen now. Below, city lights stretched endlessly toward horizons glowing warmly beneath stars winking gently above. Alex felt profoundly connected, not isolated by visions, but united by truth. Humanity collectively guided consciously toward awareness and responsibility. Emma whispered gently, breaking thoughtful silence softly. "What happens next, Alex?" He exhaled deeply, profound calm radiating clearly through his voice. "Life happens, chosen consciously, courageously. Truth revealed painfully yet powerfully guides humanity forward beyond eternity, defining our shared destiny." Together beneath endless night skies, Alex Carter finally understood clearly. The mask's visions weren't curses but profound gifts, illuminating paths toward collective wisdom, courageously confronting truths difficult yet essential. Humanity stood collectively at crossroads now, guided not blindly but consciously, awareness painfully yet necessarily achieved. Alex sensed deeply, profoundly peaceful. His journey had fulfilled purpose fully, guiding humanity openly toward responsibility beyond eternity, united now by truths courageously revealed. In the quiet after the storm, beneath a sky washed clean by truth, Alex stood alone, changed, yet profoundly free. The mask was gone, but the lessons remained etched deeply into his soul. He had learned that fate was not a prison of inevitability, but a reflection of choices bravely faced. Every painful vision, every heartbreak, every betrayal had shaped him, teaching courage and vulnerability, strength in forgiveness, and wisdom in humility. Gazing upward, he felt the gentle weight of eternity, not as chains, but as open paths awaiting conscious steps forward. And finally, Alex understood clearly. The future is never fixed by visions or fears. It is forever shaped by the courage of those willing to face themselves.